You are listening to the Republican Talk Show on 95.1 Roman FM. Joined with us today, Rob. Today we will be discussing a couple of issues that we have here to express both sides' opinions. Rob does have a YouTube channel that you guys can visit. That'll be in the link below. And we're also going to be talking about a couple of topics like war on drugs, universal health care, abortion, just mainstream controversies that people talk about. I'd like to start off on Rob's side. Rob, what do you think about abortion? Okay, what's your main take on that?
On abortion, I did do a video on this one, and it basically just, on a general stance, talked about how it should not be left up to the government to make the decision. And I mean, I myself am not, like I said in the video that I made about the couple that is considering the option. It should not be the government should not be telling us, what we can or cannot do with our own creation. The gist of it, basically.
Yeah. It's like saying it's basically a way that the government is controlling another aspect of our life, and that's actually a very personal issue there that they can't interfere with.
Right.
Another topic that we have here on my side of abortion. I agree with you, but these people on the far left and the far right are tugging both ways at each other. Can't we just have a no party idea? I mean, the Republicans think that we should make it illegal because of their religious beliefs, and doesn't that have something to do with the separation of church and state at all?
It should.
It does.
Constitution says separation of church and state, so it should not be up to the Catholic Church, the Protestant Church, the whatever church, to say to then influence legislation into making such a topic as personal as abortion left up to the federal government.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying too. I mean, Republicans base their opinions and ideas on religion, and the left based their opinions on morals, and saying that it's a woman's right, it's her body, and us in the middle, we're thinking that it's their choice, it's their opinion, if they wanted to do that. I did make an earlier video some time ago before my opinion changed, but basically it was the same thing. It was basically the same thing. I said it should be up to the parents, though. And some people argue with me that, it's okay if it's in the first 2 weeks of still being a fetus. What do you take? What's your take on that?
Well, I'm not a doctor, so I can't truly break it down in that manner. But I will say this to the extent that I know science. I will say that you aren't, as far as what I've been taught, you are not considered human until certain major organs have been formed in your body. And if that's not the case, bringing it back to abortion, then it can't, then it's pretty much a dead issue.
Yeah. Well, we covered that already. I mean, that's just like that's a topic that we settle. Like, it should be the parents' decision. Our next topic, homosexual marriage. I personally, as you said, you've commented on my YouTube page saying I was being very libertarian about it. And I think over this past couple of months, I've started to become a conservative libertarian, no longer really a right-wing extremist, like the opposite of the liberals. But I've become some sort of libertarian because now that both sides are going crazy on this, and again with gay marriage, the Republicans base their opinion on religion again. I think that it's the government. Same thing with abortion. The government shouldn't be telling you on these social and private issues such as this. Do you agree on me on this, Rob?
Correct. I agree with you. I really look at it as it's as simple as, well, homosexuals are no different in figure and physicality than you and I are, and so it's we have no right to simply, in my opinion, leave it all up, let the government, or yet again let the churches dictate how marriage should go. That's not up to them.
Yeah, and we were doing a debate in class, and my partner said, wouldn't this be some sort of discrimination if they outlawed this? Do you think that's a proper statement?
What do you mean outlawed this?
If suppose they made gay marriage illegal in all the states, was that a type of discrimination against homosexuals?
Well, discrimination against homosexuals, it's exactly, when you ask it that way, it's exactly what it is. And because under the Constitution, it says that you have equal rights under the law, regardless of race, gender, sexual preference, sexual orientation, blah blah blah. On that note, so when someone is being railroaded because of a sexual preference, that is considered discrimination.
Yes, I agree with you on that as well. Moving on to another topic, universal healthcare. Now, this is something that I never really made videos about because I really didn't I understand it that much. What do you know about universal healthcare? Can you explain to listeners out there what it is? Because I myself need to know some more about. I know the idea of it, but I just need to know more details. Could you fill us in on that?
Yeah, not a problem. I was, that's actually my next upcoming video on YouTube is going to be a video about universal health care. It's basically, on a general scale, because this is how I address it in the video, talking about how, it's more, we call it single payer here in Congress. In congressional and legislative languages, we call it single payer. Basically, we pay to the government, and the government pays to the doctors. Case in point, we take out the middleman, which is the corporations. And that's why that's the exact reason I am for universal health care, because the middleman, aka the corporations, are the ones that are just they're profiting off of I saw on the documentary Sicko with Michael Moore how they talked about how a man cut two fingers off. Cut his fingers off in an accident, and he was forced to pick between one or the other because he had no health insurance. And the problem with that is, in a universal health care society, he wouldn't have had to choose. It would have just been, okay, we'll reattach him, no charge, and it'll come out of his taxes later. And it's already been shown in England and Canada and Cuba and and probably communist China and probably communist Russia and France, and pretty much in every industrialized nation, it's been shown that a universal health care plan is cheaper and more efficient than what we have now, which is privatized health.
Yeah, and I kind of get the idea now of it. I mean, it's a pretty simple idea for the universal healthcare, that people can just get the healthcare with their own, just cutting out the middleman, the insurance companies, right?
Right.
How about the unemployment? Now, we have this unemployment problem rising, and a lot of people are out of jobs now. What do you think the main cause of this now? Now, like, every day are people getting jobs taken away, and some people say the economy's recovering and people getting their jobs back, but I don't know. I don't really see that happening. What do you see happening?
Well, I come off of being unemployed myself. It's crazy here where I live in Texas. It's just because people say all the time that the Texans and the Texas economy is better than most economies, which in cases it could be true.
Yeah, I see your point. Anyways, our next topic is going to be on marijuana, and there's two subtopics of this. There's medicinal marijuana and just the recreational use of marijuana. First, I'm going to give my opinion in marijuana. First, I think that it should be legalized for medicinal marijuana use. but should be closely monitored so that it's given out in an appropriate way, so that it's not giving marijuana out to people for free. I mean, I think if it's a good idea. On the other hand, though, I mean, I never really got the whole idea with the government in their protection of the people. I mean, they have the military, but that's a different side. That's a federal protection, but like individual protection. Suppose, I mean, take the seatbelt law for example. You have to wear your seatbelt, and you're a nice SUV, but the people in the motorcycle are illegal. You don't have to wear a helmet on a motorcycle going like 100 miles an hour down a highway, which if you hit a pebble, you'll surely die. And that's just the first part of it. The second part of it is that the same thing about marijuana, though, is like sometimes the government cannot control, like, oh, you have to wear a seatbelt because we want you to be safe. It would probably be a good idea if they just let people decide that on their own, and if it's their choice to be safe or not. But I do see their side of the story and how they think. It's just not, I don't know, it's just not a way that a good free country be. Because if someone decided not to wear their seatbelt and they got hurt, well, that was their decision. And then some people would argue, oh, well, because you're letting them make their own decisions, they get hurt. It's the same thing saying that's saying that we depend on the government, and without them, we'll get hurt. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Right. Basically, we're entrusting the government with our safety, and we're trying to be preventative about it. But the way I always go with it, just in general, is that you can't legislate stupidity, and you can't put it on the government every time you're not sure what to do, because in the Constitution also guarantees us individual responsibility